What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New, and honey, I am back in the building. This time, honey, I'm back to talk some more about my boy, Mr. Will Smith, and Chris Rock, aka Pookie, honey, from New Jack City, honey, okay? Anyways, guys, this time I am back to play some audio from some top floor men. Honey, let's give it up for the top floor men that get it, honey. Let's give them some claps, honey. Yes, give it up. Give them a big old nasty hand clap, honey. Just give them a big old nasty hand clap. Yes. 2 men that finally get it. Oh, no. Yes. Oh, yes. Honey, Miss Robinson is just so sick of reporting down live, honey, from the first floor, honey, from the basement, from the cemetery, okay? Because these niggas, the way they talking here in these social media streets, honey, they done lost their damn mind, honey, okay? And we all know that a mind is a terrible thing to waste, honey, okay? And some of you fools then lost it, okay? And it ain't just these first floor men, it's you women too. Y'all are just special, honey. That's all I can say, honey, okay? We know Miss Robinson got some other 4-letter words she would like to use, but I'm gonna try to keep it classy, honey. I know y'all like, girl, it's a little too late for that, honey. The way you get on here and curse, honey, okay? Y'all know Miss Robinson is a savage, honey. Classy, bougie, ratchet, okay? So anyways, without further ado, I'm going to play the first speaker, honey, because, oh my God, he made so many great points. I'm going to let that man talk, honey, and hopefully you leave this video, honey, with some knowledge, okay?
Between Chris and Will. And a lot of people are ignoring the fact that Chris has a history of fucking with Jada. Now, you guys remember me in a couple of my videos I mentioned, I said, I got a strange feeling this is like a Piers Morgan thing. If you're not aware of what I'm talking about, remember how Piers Morgan was talking about Meghan Markle when he kept talking about it. And I said, this feels personal. I said, did they date or something? And it came out the day after I said, did they date, when I did my commentary. Came my date, I said that. I knew it had to be personal. Because usually men do not go over on women like that unless they're in a stalkerish kind of mindset. And this kind of is a stalkerish kind of mindset that Piers Morgan had. And to this day, he still make comments about it. But what it was is he thought he was going to get in the panties. He thought that she was easy picking. She was a young woman. I'm an older man. I'm known over the world because of Piers Morgan, blah, blah, blah. She going to drop trial. And it didn't happen. And then when it found out that she was like, I'm not feeling well. And he's okay, I'm come on, we'll see each other next time, blah, 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 blah. Her friends take her out, happen to be Prince Harry. It gets back, he does the math. Wait a minute, that's the night we went out on the date. And blah, blah, she said she was sick, but she said, I'm a Prince Harry. And we know, if Harry and her screwed around. Come on. Let's just keep it true, ladies. Y'all came across any well-known or a prince. Y'all be able to ask that night or later on. So Piers got his feelings. And he been messing with it ever since. But if you go back and look at the reaction to people in Great Britain or what's that, not Great Britain, I guess it is Great Britain, or whoever, I get it mixed up. And women here, a large number of white women, was upset because you pissed this dude off. And then you had, then Sharon Osbourne and others went to his defense. And you saw it. A lot of black folk, we saw it. Even the ones who give a rat ass about Meghan Markle and what is going on, we knew what it was. It was racism. It was this arrogant assumption that a mixed race black woman, because Piers kept bringing up a background, that she was going to give this white guy some ass that night. I mean, there's so many facets to that story. But the thing is, he thought that she was going to have sex with him, and she didn't, and he's been pissed ever since. Now, I said, wait, Chris is zeroing on Jada. I said, something about this. I noticed that night when he did the first time, like, why did he zero on Jada? But then the second time, I'm like, yeah. Well, I had got a link from a friend of mine. And it's out here for you guys to find out if you want to. But it proved what I was right about. It proved, once again, that I was on point about my suspicions. And let me see if I can find it. Oh, I gotta go to this place. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm doing this off my phone, folks, so bear with me. It says, it's at the Daily Beast, okay? Chris Rock has been mocking Jada Pinkett Smith since the 90s. I knew it had to be something. See, this is why I tell y'all that you have to pay attention to patterns. You have to listen to certain words. I'm gonna tell you what I think happened, and I think that I didn't read the entire article, but when they said he's been doing this since the 90s, they got video of him doing it. I said, either Jada was at that time was still single, or she was married. Either way, Chris came at her. She took his ass down. Cause Chris thinking, I'm a celebrity. I'm a big dog and all that stuff. And she turned him down. And see, a lot of dudes got ego. Especially if they got some fame and money. How do you turn me down? I'm Chris fucking Rock. You know, that kind of thing. And he's been obsessed ever since. And we don't know how Jada responded. she said, one other guy, or she could have ghosted me. We don't know. But this is proof. You got proof that this man has been dogging. But instead of us checking Chris about, like, dude, why are you constantly talking about her in these events? We talking about what she did to Will. And we're clowning Will. And I'm sitting like, okay, we had this discussion about Jada. I even said that Jada and her daughter and her mom should not be on this platform telling their most intimate details. That's disrespectful to the family. That's disrespectful to Will. He's the head. That's a conversation we can have. But we're conflating things. Then y'all go talk about, well, he's a comic. Comics do that. No, not every comic do that. Not every comic fall back on some personal or me. Now, last night I was on Galvin live chat with Sean. And you guys caught it. And we was talking about comedy, and me and Gavin respectfully disagreed a little bit, but for the most part, we on point. Sean, we all on point. And I said it's a little nuance. And I said you can have comics make jokes. I mean, everybody's gonna get ragged on a little bit, but you're gonna have comics that go too far. And he brought Don Rickles, the insult comic. Don Rickles was equal opportunity across the board. Now, that's some jokes that I thought Don Rickles went too far with. But for the most part, he insulted everybody. Now, will you ever get another Don Rickles? No, I wouldn't want it because today it wouldn't bring right. Some jokes wouldn't bring right. But you got a lot of comics think about cursing and playing into racial stereotypes or speaking on behalf of an entire group of people, that's common. It's not. George Carlin was smart. Bernie Mac was smart. Dick Gregory was smart. You see what I'm saying? Bill Cosby was telling jokes that was smart. Red Fox, a lot of these comics would tell jokes that was funny, it may have been inappropriate at times, but they made you laugh because it wasn't the mean intent. Let me give you an example. We grew up watching, those of us, even some kids now, they watch reruns of Good Times or Sanford and Son and shows of that era. And when Red Fox and John Amos back in after like this, Red Fox was on NBC. Remember, Sanford and Son was on NBC. A lot of people don't know that When Sanford Son was on, you had All the Family, and even the Brady Bunch was still on. So when you say, wait a minute, Brady Bunch, all just 3 different networks, but the time and times how different things were in our community. On All the Family, they would say different things. Sanford Son, they would say different things. So the Brady Bunch is pretty whitewashed. Matter of fact, the cast members said they wish they would have done a little more topical things, considering they was doing the Vietnam era, the Nixon era, and all that. But the point I'm trying to make is, when Red Fox said, bam, bam, boom, somebody get this nigga out of my room, everybody died laughing. Even the guy who played Rollo, every time he did a scene with Red Fox, he would crack up. That episode, as he did off the cuff, all the actors broke character. Go look at it. That's the episode when Red Fox came back. I remember those episodes when Red Fox was gone. He was negotiating, staying on Sanford Son. He wanted more money. A lot of people don't know that. So by the time he came back, Red Fox had come in. He didn't take command. That was his show.
I remember that episode when Grady was on there. Y'all remember when Grady took over and Fred was in St. Louis? That's what he's talking about. And remember that Grady came to the door with a gun. Lamont was like, hey, Grady, let me in. And Grady was like, who is this? Grady, that's not your name. That shit was so funny. Now back to Chris Rock. Let's get back to Pookie, honey. Okay.
You say something is nuance. There's a certain nuance, a certain thing that we pick up on as black people. But there are times when, as black people, we know some of our people got on stage and gone too far. Now people bring up the Def Comedy Jam era. I'm not gonna lie, when Def Comedy Jam came out, I would roll every Friday. Boop, I'm there. Watch it. If I had to work, I put that tape in, set that VCR, my guy off work. I'd be up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, grab my ass off my parents and get your ass in bed. I'm sick. I mean, it was funny, but then after a while, it became repetitive. And the comments got meaner and meaner. But they got meaner with our people. And then you have white folks, yeah, we're Pookie here, we're Pookie there. And you start seeing the audience get less black and more white. Then that's when I started noticing this shit ain't funny no more. When Chris been around doing his thing for a number of years. We all remember him when he went in. He said, "How much read?" And he said, "I want 1 read." He put out a wad of money, and he said, "I want some grapes," or something he said about something. He put out his big ass wad of money. Hilarious. Then he went to do New Jack City. He actually, it seemed like he's better serious. At that time, Kim Cross was better as a serious actor than a comic. But he knew that Hollywood would never hire his type. Because he had that look. He liked the skinny, sidekick black dude that we saw in the movies. If he wasn't a gay dude, if he wasn't a gang banger, he would be the sidekick to the actual masculine black dude or the white guy. So he stayed with the comedy thing. He was on SNL. And then somehow I don't know if white folk discovered because he reinvented himself, so to speak, and he thought, hey, and it's jokes. At first, it was equal opportunity, but then they started slowly turning into, in the black community, we do this and do that, and you sitting there, and at first you laugh, and you're like, wait a minute, why does this joke seem to be more geared to us? Remember, Dave Chappelle came to that realization when he said, I noticed when we do the skits, the people who were behind the camera or at the table was laughing at stuff loud and heavy than they should have. And he had that aha moment. Just like Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor was brilliant, but Richard Pryor did the same thing about a black, niggas, we be doing this and this and that. We went to Africa. A black man said, Richard, you're brilliant, we love you, but why do you use niggas so much? He said, why don't you just brother something to that fact? Richard came back after, remember, he had almost died. And he did that special. He said, I'm not going to use that anymore. And that's when people said, he's not funny as when white folks started being critical. He's not funny anymore. Yeah. He was funny as long as he was running out there, nigga. Remember, Dave Chappelle came under attack. As long as Dave Chappelle was like, get out! And this stuff. And then making Juicy Smollett, people laughed their ass off. But when he held a mirror up to the hypocrisy of a particular group of people, all of a sudden, he's transphobic, he's anti-gay, blah, blah, blah. But none of us in the community who said, you know what, why, you guys can't take a joke or criticism, but y'all love now all his nigga jokes, weren't. So to make a long story short, when we are debasing our community for a cheap laugh, and everybody's yucking it up, you need to look at them. When Chris made his joke about Jada at the Oscars the first time, that everybody knows that's broadcast worldwide. He made not only light of Jada and Rihanna, he made light of the black folk that had been yelling and screaming about Oscars being racist or boycott. Jada just happened to be the wife of Will Smith, and he zeroed in on her. And he tried to say, they didn't do his protesting back to the civil rights era. It was more important things. He was trying to tell black folk, you just bitching and moaning. This ain't important. Because he said they wanted me to boycott. And when he could have, he was like, I'm not boycotting. That tell you he wasn't on code. See, a lot of this shit go over y'all head. Y'all didn't think about all the nuance, all the things he said. He was dissing the black community right along with Jada and Rihanna. Now, y'all know I'm not a fan of Rihanna. How she did Chris Dirt. And yes, I got my issues even when I said that Jada was yelling louder because of her husband. And I said that in those videos, and I've always said that when I talked about this moment, I said Jada is yelling because of her husband too. It's not coming from a place of honesty or complete honesty. But Kristen had to go there and front her and other people off in front of a large audience of white men and white women. Yeah, you have some Asians pepper here. Yeah, you have some Hispanics pepper here. But it was a large number of white folk. And then when he said, nobody invited you. Wow, bro. And I'm sitting there as a man, as a black man, like, you throw you people under the bus, telling us what's important. Because when he did that, you gave white folks, they was clapping. He said this wasn't an important thing. Go back and watch that thing in its full. Don't look at the inside edition to show half the clip. Watch it. Just open them up from start to finish. Then you do it 6 years later, and you zero on a woman's look. And what pisses me off, you got black folk out here, he should have did that. Will should have done that. What about Chris? She never cracked on it. Well, he didn't know how she had a disease. It doesn't matter if she had a disease or not. You cracked on a black woman's appearance to the world.
Yep.
And you did a documentary, as I said, a mockumentary, and I've been yelling for years, and y'all know I've been saying, I said...
He said a mockumentary. Come on!
He was making fun of black women. And you had a few people, no, it wasn't. I said, you can't really sit down and listen to that what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
We got black girls. That don't mean shit.
That's right.
If we don't use that rationalization that he got black girls, we will become cold as a community not to go out there and say, you know what, I'm black, I got black family members, I got black friends. I'm not out here and make my people look better or add to the hurt of my people. He insulted one of our, regardless of what we think of Jada, regardless of what she did, he used the international platform to be disrespectful to a black woman that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know how that played into white supremacists and between his hands that black men don't protect their women,
Mm-hmm.
disrespect our women in public. That's why a lot of our women make poor choices in the men they with and the
Yep.
organizations they join, the people they stand by. Because we've always been portrayed as wimps, as
Yep.
thugs,
Mm-hmm.
as baby daddies, as pimps, as down low, or weak-willed,
Mm-hmm.
weak-minded.
Yep.
And then what does the media do? They run to black folk. They normally don't run to the ex their opinion.
Yep.
Tiffany Haddish, who y'all know I've been critical of. A lot of us have been. You know, it's the last 2 years, she had toned down a lot. You know what I'm saying? You don't see putting the camera in her face anymore. That she ain't out there being embarrassing.
And I was wondering about that. I was like, I don't see Tiffany Haddish. You used to see Tiffany Haddish everywhere. So he is so right.
He ain't on no more. See, they don't like you when you get serious and you get reflective. They like you run around. They like that.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of y'all don't see it until it's too late.
I told y'all this fool be tap dancing for white people. Chris Rock, okay? Pookie.
And then we get mad when people throw it back in our face.
Mm-hmm.
Look, let me tell you something. I've said it in some of my commentaries. I've said it when I've gone on some of my brothers and sisters' chat rooms, video chats. I said, I think I lost my sister English to some things. And what I mean by lost my English, I don't like people insult mean comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get off on seeing somebody else hurt.
Right.
That's why I don't watch a lot of these comedy shows doing out. They get personal.
Yeah.
But everybody, white, Asian, everybody, they love making mockery of black folk.
Mm-hmm.
This is why we never get. We wonder why nobody respects us.
That's right.
We don't check anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't want to mess another brother or sister, but they would talk about you to get a dollar.
That's right.
Look what we did with Bill Cosby. Look how everybody came out and just hammered that man. And we flipped on him overnight. And those same Negroes, a lot of them black comics, I christen them. Where have you gone? You haven't advanced. You haven't got no big payout. You don't have no TV show. Now the ones who I hit cool, like your Gerard, Carmichael, what his name? Gerard, what did Carmichael do when he had this show with David Allen Greer and Loretta Devine on NBC? Remember they did that episode of Cosby? Why did you do an episode about the hypocrisy of these white women and white men yelling "Me Too" and Time's Up? No, you went for the easy laugh. You went after Bill Cosby. And if y'all watch his first HBO special, it was about slamming black folk. Now HBO turned around and gave him another special. When you notice these black comics come out in woodwork all of a sudden, they give a platform. It's like, because you go back and look at their comedy. Trevor Noah, he went out there talking about Kanye West. Y'all might want to go look at some of Trevor Noah interviews, his comedy bits about black folk. We are the most disrespected people on the planet. But then they take another black person to disrespect a black woman on an international scale. Then you see Shannon Sharp talking real with done that to me. Sitting in front of us, Skip Bayless, a racist ass sports analyst.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't do that to me.
Yeah.
Where's their energy when they shoot down our brothers and sisters? Where's their energy when they disrespecting our people?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never seen none of these handkerchief heads get that energy when they see videos, black boys and black girls getting slammed or jumped on.
Mm-hmm.
There were videos of black women getting spit on, getting their hair pulled, shot in.
But I guess, we're black, and guess what? It's our job, okay? That's your job. You just supposed to let them do that. They get to talk to you any kind of way. You black. You know how it is. That's how some of y'all sound in these comments and in these damn videos. It's some of these women too. Some of my favorite YouTubers. When I tell you I opened my mouth and was stunned. Y'all gotta see the bigger picture. You just have to.
Where is that anger at? But y'all want to run and defend a coon who has been making money off the expense of our people.
Come on.
Yeah, I wish that Will never did what he did, but Will was a no-win. If he didn't do it, he would have got cracked open.
Yep.
People been dogging Will since Jada came out, said something about the entanglement. Laverne Cox cracked open. Regina Hall and early Oscars cracked open.
And let me say something. So something else was said, because y'all know I didn't even watch the raggedy ass Oscars. Regina Hall, girl, what is you doing? Don't do stuff like that. Don't bring up Jada's entanglement and like y'all just... A lot of you all are not mature. Because if you were mature, you would have took the Red Table Talk, the show they did on the entanglement, and you would have left it there. That's why I keep going in on people calling y'all first floor level niggas. It's when you're ghetto as hell and you don't get nothing and you don't have any integrity about yourself, where you see a moment for a moment, like, oh, okay, Will and Jada, they came out and talk about the entanglement situation. They had to explain that because that stupid ass August Alsina, who had an album coming out or some type of music, then he did a entanglement song, so that showed you his true intentions. Behavior reflects intentions. There's that. Catch that, T. Okay? Because a lot of y'all like to have this narrative, well, Jada need to just stop telling all her business. That is the nature of her business. To share her life, to share her trials and tribulations with you. And look at what you all do. You make a fucking joke out of it and make a mockery out of it. Okay? These people have been married for over 20 plus years. Put some fucking respect on their marriage. Because not a lot of those men up in Hollywood, they're not staying married like that. They're not down for their woman and their children. And you all out here that's Team Chris Rock, you all are adding to the dysfunction of that collective. And I'm talking about the collective of people out here making a mockery and a joke of the Smiths and their family. I had somebody tell me this past week, oh, those kids are weird. What the fuck is so weird about the Smith kids? What's so weird? Well, his firstborn is... the firstborn Trey, he's normal. What the fuck is normal? These kids ain't out here, having kids before marriage. They ain't strung out on drugs. Them kids is rich. They got their own careers. They're in music and acting. I think Trey, correct me guys if I'm wrong. What is he, a DJ or something? I know he does music and stuff. Those are some good ass kids. The Smiths did good. Even Cherie, she did good too. You all make a mockery of people that try to role model certain stuff. So we could be an better example to our black children. You all are sitting up here with these fucking white people laughing at your own people. And then want to scream out racism. No, you all are racist against your own fucking people. Y'all need to crawl out of the asses of some of these white people and get on the right team. Y'all ain't playing for the right team. You play for your people, not people out here like Chris Rock trying to embarrass and destroy the Smiths. Okay? Both of them. He picked on Jada for a reason. He picked on Will Smith's wife for a reason. Because he felt like Will is a punk. I know I can get away with it. I know I can get that good white laugh. And you niggas, Y'all will laugh too, because y'all don't know who the hell y'all are. Okay? Stop adding to the dysfunction.
He's sitting there. And then they said, we're going to go ask Richard Williams what he thought. Richard Williams has dementia.
That man got dementia. Damn. Nobody. See, they really trying to make Will look bad. They are really out here on this campaign to bring Will's good name down. It's like this smear campaign. See, he ain't as perfect. See, he ghetto and gangster just like the rest of y'all. Then you got black people. Well, Will made us look bad. No, he didn't. He makes you look good. Because what the fuck else is these first floor level niggas? What are they doing for you? Have they been married for over 20 plus years? Do they have kids out here that are thriving out in the world? No. Some of y'all should be calling Will daddy about now, because he's the most, the closest thing that you could call a father. Shit. Okay? Just stupid.
He had a stroke. Remember, it was Will Smith that got that movie made. It was Will Smith that they paid extra bonuses to his co-stars.
Wow. And that's why his ass should have won that fucking Oscar. And then because of this situation, you got dumbass people. He should get it taken away. Just stupid. Just playing into the devil's hands.
Now, y'all were just dogging out Richard Williams. Y'all was saying, why did you lose back at your means? All of a sudden, people said it took away from the movie. Y'all didn't hype the movie up in the first place. So how the hell are you going to sit there now? They do this game where they went to Will's mom. You're going to emasculate Will even further.
Yep.
But yet, Will is playing at the overnight like he let me down. It's like y'all, like he was a teacher or your parent or the spouse. He needs to go to jail. What do they say? He go to jail? Yeah, they was talking about money. That's the first thing they do with black folks, especially black men. Take their money. Take their money. Take whatever they got. Take their home. Take their car.
But meanwhile, Chris Rock is making even more money. Okay? Y'all support that though. So Chris Rock gets to disrespect and demean Jada in front of a whole audience full of people. Half of y'all wouldn't like that shit if it was you or one of your family members. Are you going to just say, it was just a joke. I shouldn't be so sensitive. Well, Jada wasn't offended by that. How the fuck do you know what Jada was offended by? Well, she was still there and what else can you do? Y'all keep asking all these dumbass questions. Stupid as hell.
Take their money. Chris, he could press charges. You know why Chris did press charges? Remember that night, Denzel Washington, Tyler Perry, wherever you are, I think Tyler Perry, they went to Will. They went to Will's side. They realized that Chris was out of pocket.
What did I tell y'all? Didn't I tell y'all that? And Chris Rock knew he was wrong. That's why that played out the way it did, because everybody knows that Will and Jada are the victims. That's what's not being said, though.
That's why when you look at the still pictures, when Chris stood on stage, he was trying to talk to Will. He knew he fucked up. Yeah, he took that slap like a champ. Yeah, I gotta give it to him. But that was a slap. It wasn't a fist. And y'all talk about Will, if it was anybody else, Will would never. You don't know that. You don't know. A lot of y'all talking shit out here. Y'all be the first ones to cry out for your mom. The Charles Barkley's in them of the world. Your Stephen A. Smith's of the world. Your Steve Harvey's of the world. Your Ricky Smiley. All y'all went to social media and cooned.
Yep.
But see, I've been telling y'all, Black Hollywood and these comics, they show their true colors doing the Bill Cosby thing.
What did I tell y'all? Also, look at them women on Fox Soul. Vivica A. Fox, what was she in? Set It Off with Jada, and I'm sure she was really good friends with Jada at one point in time. But see, Vivica is jealous of Jada. Jada is actually authentically herself. Okay? She's comfortable with herself. You could tell by the words that come out of her damn mouth. Okay? Who else is on there? Lisa Ray. Didn't Lisa Ray used to work for the Smiths? This old ungrateful ass bitch over there on Fox. So, oh no, he was so wrong. No, bitch, your ghetto ass is wrong. Okay? Miss, I want to wear white, all the damn time to show how pure I am. Lies you tell. Shit.
And when Michael Jackson Day came back up, they flipped on Michael again. When he died, I love you, this Michael.
What did I tell y'all? As soon as these people die, oh, we miss him. Oh, fake as hell. I told you, you ain't nobody until you dead or damn near dead on your deathbed. Something drastic has to happen to you. But you better not dare have a human moment. You better not dare take up for that black woman. You better not dare take up for your wife. Oh, black women, Will Smith wasn't defending you. He wasn't defending you. He was defending his wife. Then I seen another YouTuber making it a colorism thing. Oh, well, he protected Jada because she light skinned, and if it was a dark skin... Some of y'all need to go to therapy all fucking ready. Like, go to therapy. Quit with everything is not colorism. Y'all have so much self-hatred issues. Go have surgery on that shit. And stop turning something that's one thing. This situation is quite clear. Don't go the colorism route. I didn't even look at that damn video. It was coming down my timeline. I said I ain't got time for that. Go get some healing for your unhealed trauma that you need to get together. Okay, that's what that shit is. Y'all get triggered by every little thing.
Walk in, stand in the mirror and let me show you where to go and Billie Jean, whatever song they were singing. But when Mama Oprah came out and disrespected a dead black man, and took the sides of these white dudes, y'all didn't have that outrage for Oprah.
No, because it's Oprah.
When King and them tried to get up there and get a black woman to talk shit about a dead man.
Mm-hmm.
And when Snoop called out, who ran to Gayle King's defense? Mika Brzezinski and Joe Scarborough. And you had Susan Rice make a threat to Snoop.
Yep.
A black woman who's married to a white man. Where was that outrage in the black community? We got mad at Snoop more than we got mad at her.
Yep, I remember it. Okay, I remember that.
Because you could cultivate this gangster personality back in the day. It was tough. But we stopped. We didn't talk about Snoop. We didn't criticize him no more. When Terry Crews came out and said, this Asian grabbed me by the jump, and what the first thing as black men we say, you supposed to man up, you supposed to knock him on his ass. And what did Terry say? I had to think about my wife was there, and I told my wife what happened. She said, don't do anything, because we don't want this negative image. When he said that, did anybody give me any great sympathy? No. They made jokes at him across the board. So when a black man is insulted, what we supposed to do? We don't respond, we criticize. If we do respond, we criticize. We can't win.
Will was never going to come out okay in this situation. You all were going to drag him and was going to make fun of him. Period. No matter what he did. It's horrible.
But when you got another black person leading the charge to the disrespect, you're like, what the fuck? Chris Rock has been doing us dirty with his comedy for years. And I get it, people say comics gonna push the button. He sat in a room with non-black men laughing, talking about the word nigga, laughing at that. And Jerry Seinfeld was the only one that had come and said, I don't think it's funny. I'm not gonna say it, I'm not gonna go there. Because he didn't want to look like a hypocrite, number one. Number two, a lot of people know better. Ricky Gervais, Ricky Gervais, like he's having an orgasm. Jumping out of his seat, then Ricky Gervais made a comment, and that was me up there. I would have made jokes about Jada picking her hair. I would have made a joke about her boyfriend. James Kilborn, whatever his name over there on CBS, that show, they made a song. Don't talk about Jada. I'm sitting like, y'all disrespecting this man's wife. You disrespecting black folk. You should be like, wait a minute, hold on.
Who the white man that called her a bald-headed bitch? I don't see any outrage over that. None of y'all have did any commentary on that. I ain't seen not one black woman jump on that. Nothing.
Hold the fuck on. Whatever Jada did, you don't get to go there. This is why we are...
And she ain't did shit. Sitting over there on Red Table Talk trying to help the world, trying to heal the world. Okay?
So fucking divided as a community because we don't have a fucking code. Now, one black comment made any reference to Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston and Angelina Jolie. They didn't call Angelina Jolie a hoe. When Angelina Jolie was up there kissing her brother and shit back in the day, we were like, whoa, that's kind of weird.
Yep.
Nobody said many incest jokes about them.
Nope.
In fact, we didn't go there because it wasn't our business, and we knew the reaction would be totally different.
Yep.
Clint Eastwood got his old decrepit ass out there. And I told you, I said, motherfuckers racist. He showed his ass through the Trump years. Y'all ain't make no Clint. I'm waiting for a black color nigga Clint Eastwood joke. Y'all won't go there because y'all afraid. Donald Trump has said all kinds of hateful shit to us. Y'all make a Donald Trump joke this kind of tame, but y'all won't go there. I wait for you comments to talk about his wife pouncing around naked for pictures. No, y'all won't go there. Look how disrespectful they are to our women. But Kanye West went on the stage and said, Beyonce should have won that award. To this day, they throw it in his face, even though Taylor Swift got caught lying on brother.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody brings that up. The disrespect that black men get in front of our community and one of our women, the disrespect that black women get in front of us in the world, I mean, it's sickening.
Yeah.
And y'all worry about Chris getting slapped. Look at this, all that to have.
Thank you.
And if you got a bunch of white folks come out of the booth, it is a racial thing. Oh my gosh, I just can't believe Will did that to poor Chris.
And right now they're doing their own version of a watered down ass Me Too movement. All these white people coming out, Jim Carrey, Amy Schumer. Okay, just all these white people. Oh, he shouldn't have did that. Oh, Will is so wrong. Oh my God, like how dare he? And like all these, it'd be white people I thought was dead, honey. They just like, oh my gosh, and child, bye. The hell out of here with that.
See, Chris is white folks' best friend.
Yeah.
That black dude can go to say, Chris said it's black folks that's niggers.
Yeah.
How many of us at work heard that? I was at work in the corridor where I told y'all about the pants down thought. And I was there to a black man that moves white stack. He Harvey, because it was a rude cuss, but happened to be black. But nonetheless, she said, Harvey, when Chris Rock said there's black people in this, I'm like, I know she ain't stupid enough to say it. she said it without saying it.
Uh-huh.
I looked at it and I'm like, yeah. Yeah, well, that customer was one of them. I said, so when the white customer come here, what are they? And they're hunkies, right? I said, no, black folks don't. Y'all been watching me episodes of Good Times in Jefferson. Black folks don't say that a lot, and it's not the same word. I said, I'd rather you not do that. Please don't let Chris Rock get you hurt.
That's right.
I told her straight. I said, if I was a black woman, it would have been a totally different thing. So yeah. Black man, I can't go in on you where I want to. She looked at me.
That's right.
I didn't mean to offend you, but she did.
And I was at work at one of my jobs some time ago, and I was having some issues with somebody that was white. And it was somebody black helping her. And the black person involved, I'm thinking, we cool. He couldn't wait to buddy to the white lady and try to make some jokes. When I tell you I checked both their asses and it wasn't no laughing matter. Okay? So what he's saying is absolutely correct. You got black folks in the workplace that will coon for that white supervisor, for that white boss. Oh, yeah. I was shocked because the same black person had an issue with that white person at the job. But nope, none of that meant anything, Ain't no loyalty because I got to get in with this white person, honey. They is important.
For a good 5 years, that's all I heard was Chris Rock said, my black friend said, I'm not telling you straight when I was army, I told the dude, I said, let your black friend get your ass kicked. See, and we have to stop calling out these people do this shit. Shannon Sharp really bothered me the other day. You said in front of a white dude, you brought up something that had nothing to do with what Chris and Will went through. What did he have to say? Boy, mess with Jada. What the fuck did they have to do with anything? Y'all conflating fucking issues.
What did I tell y'all? Y'all keep trying to bring August Alsina into it. Y'all keep trying to talk about the damn entanglement, but you're missing the bigger picture. I'm so happy. I am so happy this man is speaking on this.
And the white guy, he's sitting there like, go back and look at that video. Still is like, you actually doing this in front of me. Because white folk, they get a kick out of when we turn on each other and sit in front of them and talk. Like,
yep. They love it, honey. I done seen it. It's horrible. So that's what I've been seeing on social media. That's why I've been doing so many videos on this. Because it started out being one thing, but where I'm at with it now is the comments on social media. I'm just disgusted. You got motherfuckers older than me that don't get it. That's why you can really say that age is only a number, honey. Okay? 36 years old and I get it. You got motherfucking YouTubers that I look up to, 50 plus, don't get it. Will was wrong. That's Will's job. Jada wasn't that mad. Now they flipping it again. They keep trying to change the goddamn narrative. That's another way you know that something is wrong with a situation, because why does the narrative have to keep changing? Why do y'all keep trying to change something? Oh, so you can believe it and it can make sense to you. Oh, look, from this angle, Jada's laughing that Will got smacked. Who the fuck cares? Let's get on the part where this black man disrespected this black woman in front of her husband and in front of all these white people. Why didn't he pick on anybody white? I keep trying to redirect y'all to that question. He uses you all, and you all are defending him. What does that say about you? Well, Will shouldn't have did that. My other question I have for you is, when does Will act like this? He's not a Kanye West where he's constantly acting the fuck out. Okay? Let's use some common sense. Damn, I guess it ain't so common though. Let me get to my next speaker.
Joke. And he does this line about Jada where he's like, oh, you know, G.I. Jane Part 2 coming to theaters soon. And I see Jada make this face. And I mean, she did a strong eye roll, one of those deep eye rolls that go all the way around and over. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. And see, that almost gave me like flashbacks to, remember that movie she was in, Low Down Dirty Shame, where that woman tried to make the comparison between her and the dog? Jada gave that same eye roll. I was like, oh, this is not good. And so the next thing that takes place is you see Chris tell the joke, Jada rolls the eyes, and then I see the camera pan to Chris Rock, and he's saying like, uh-oh, uh-oh. And then for some reason, it's like the frame freezes, and the next shot I see is like a body coming to the stage, but then it's like the frame goes back to Chris in this position, and it's like this for like half a second, and Chris is kind of like, and I'm like, somebody's doing something with the tape. Something ain't right here. Something's not together. And then like the next frame I see like a body kind of going back to their seat, and then it goes back to this frame of Chris like this again. And then the next frame I see is Will Smith in his seat, and he's yelling something, but the audio has been cut. And I'm like, wait a minute, something over here is going down. So, you know, I went straight to Twitter, because Twitter's going to always give you the scoop about everything. And of course, because the Oscars is something that airs all over the world, they have strings and broadcasts from different countries. And so somebody had posted the Australian version and the Japanese version. And so then I was able to see what actually happened. And so Chris Rock tells the joke. Will Smith goes up to the stage and does a whack, you know, to Chris. He slaps Chris Rock and then walks back to his seat and then pretty much yells, you know, keep my wife's name out your effing mouth. And I'm like, oh, okay, Oscars, I'm getting spicy this year. All right. And the craziest thing is I kept looking at Lupita, because Lupita's sitting right there in the mix of everything, but she's just like Lupita is me. Like when awkward stuff happen, I'm just like, okay. Because I'm sure Lupita was like, do I rub Will's back to try to calm him down, or do I leave him alone? Because maybe Jada might see and she might hit me too, thinking I'm trying to touch her man. Like, I don't know, but that was a lot. And it's crazy because some folks were trying to say like, oh, this was staged. And I don't even think any of this was staged, because who does it benefit? It certainly wouldn't benefit Will Smith, because to me, I feel like based on how white America is about to respond to this, that's a career killer for him. And I don't really think this would really help Chris Rock. And then for the Oscars, because the Oscars already want to maintain this image of prestige and all, they certainly don't want people up there scrapping at their show. Because, you know, the Oscars, they like to pretend that everyone that goes there is like super regal and, oh, you know, after the Oscars, we're going to fly to Connecticut to look at the properties that we bought for ourselves. Like, that's the image they want. So I'm like, I don't think this is staged. But it's interesting because, you know, there's so many divided viewpoints on all of this. By the way, Chris, like, imagine getting slapped in front of Beyonce. How embarrassing. You know, she don't come out too often. So the one time you get her to come out the house, you get slapped in front of her. But, you know, there's been a bunch of different responses to this. Some folks are saying, listen, in the world of comedy as a comedian, you know that when you dish out certain jokes, you have to be ready for those who are going to be offended and what kind of reaction they may have. And if you insult a man's wife in front of him and in front of the world in a space amongst their peers, you don't really know what's about to take place. And so some people have that argument. Some folks are saying, we understand the frustration that took place, but it wasn't the place or the time for that, and that kind of overshadowed the milestones and celebratory moments for the other people at the award show, because everything else after that point was overshadowed. Some people kind of reference Questlove and Summer of Soul winning that award, but not everybody was really focused in at that moment, because everybody was still reacting to what had just happened 5 minutes earlier. And then some people are really on one end of the rope saying, you know what, that was an assault on national TV, and why didn't the police come and arrest Will and take him out in cuffs? And I'm like, whoa, we getting... Okay, that's where we want to go with this. I will say in response to that last piece, understand that this is the world of celebrity. They get a lot of privileges that us regular, everyday folks don't get. And so because the Oscars would probably not want to arrest somebody like a Will Smith, and then he wins the award and they have to announce, oh, he couldn't be here today. They're all about imaging and how this all polishes. So no, they weren't going to arrest him, because again, these are privileges. Now, I will say, if we want to bring the conversation of race into this, I'm sure had that have been Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon or Robert De Niro or somebody on the stage, and he would have went and slapped one of them, oh, they would have brought out all the works, okay? I mean, the police would have been coming down the ceiling on ropes ready to arrest him. But, you know, that's Hollywood. Hollywood is its own game. And I think, really, what a lot of that has to do with is the fact that, you know, Will Smith has always had a certain image that has been pretty much portrayed, and this is why I think he's getting so much smoke, especially from white America, and then a lot of people who buy into respectability politics. Will Smith has always had this really well put together image of the family man that's very likable and easygoing. He doesn't really talk politics. He doesn't really jump into too much. Even when he made music, his music was really clean, and his music videos were always going to be really respectful of everybody involved. And he's just easygoing all around. And he even kind of talks about that in the speech that he had, where he says, yeah, you're always kind of expected to kind of go with the motions and roll with the punches and pretend that everything is okay. And in that moment, everything wasn't okay. And I think the reason why he's getting so much backlash, it isn't even the slap to me. I think it's when he got back to his seat and yelled out the bit about keep my wife's name out your effing mouth. White America has not seen that side of Will Smith. You know, they love the story of, you know, coming from West Philly and becoming a celebrity. They love that part, but they don't like the origins of when people reach a breaking point. There's no guarantee to how they're going to be able to respond or how they're going to be able to maintain themselves when they've hit a certain point of just being tired. And I think in that moment, I think Will was just tired of a lot of different things. When you kind of get to the context of everything that's been taking place, I'll say this. Would I respond in the same way? Probably not. I'll also say, you know, Chris Rock was able to really maintain himself, and I think Chris Rock was able to receive the energy that Will gave him. Chris kind of knew, like, okay, maybe I stepped over some boundaries. I didn't realize it was going to be all this, but now that I know where you stand, got it. That's why Chris probably didn't swing back. Plus, it's also Will Smith, and I don't think he would have won that fight. But
hell no, he wouldn't have won.
You know, I think for Will, I think there's just been so much that's been happening over the last few years. You know, the family as a whole has been a punching bag, especially after the entanglement situation was, you know, put out into the media. And so everybody kind of already knows their business because they've kind of been open about it, but people have made memes and jokes and so on and so forth. People have often spent time talking about their children and how their children are very unique and different and using that almost as a weapon against their parenting styles. And so there's just been all these different things
horrible.
And then when it comes to the relationship that Will Smith and Chris Rock have, or even the Smith family and Chris Rock have. Chris Rock, because he's a comedian, and he's kind of a comedian that kind of goes after his peers sometimes, yeah, I think there's kind of a love-hate roller coaster relationship amongst those collectives. And so, you know, when you go back to 2016, when Will Smith was not nominated for Concussion and Jada Pinkett had released a statement about, you know, maybe we should start creating our own award shows and boycotting things like the Oscars and events that don't really give the accolades or acknowledgement to a lot of black creatives and actors and directors and producers. Maybe we should create our own things. And then that year, Chris Rock was hosting the Oscars, and he pretty much addressed that, but he pretty much made a mockery of everything that she was passionate about in that moment, and so he fried up both of them. You know, he made the joke about, you know, one, y'all weren't even going to be invited to begin with. Jada, you're on TV, you ain't done a movie in however many years, so yeah, you already weren't invited, and is it really fair that Will Smith got $20 million for Wild Wild West? And so he really kind of goes in on them in that realm. In addition to the fact that Jada's been open about the fact that she suffers from alopecia. And alopecia is a condition that can thin out your hair and also have your hair fall out. And so you don't really know how sensitive a comment about hair is to her in that moment. Especially, we already know in America the conversations around black women and hair. Black women's hair is already policed. We literally just watched a law get passed where it's saying jobs can no longer discriminate against people for their hairstyles. And you know that's more so something that's rooted towards black Americans because you constantly keep seeing news articles about kids not being able to walk across the stage at their commencement ceremony because they didn't want to cut off their locks or they didn't want to take out their braids or all these different things, or this hairstyle is not deemed professional. And so when you get to somebody like a Jada, where as a black woman in entertainment, hair is a huge part of her image. And when it comes to how she has to present herself to be deemed desirable enough to still earn roles in Hollywood is already its own ball game. And so I think with that, I think the minute Will saw how his wife kind of looked, because people were saying, well, Will was laughing at the joke too, and I think that kind of goes back to what Will was saying in the speech where he says, sometimes you have to roll with the punches and play that role. And I think the minute he saw that his wife was uncomfortable, that role ended, and he was kind of at that breaking point, like, I can't do this anymore. Because again, I think there's certain entertainers where because they've always had this special image, it keeps them in a box where they're not able to express themselves. And the minute they step outside of their character, they're public enemy number one. And now that's what you're kind of seeing happen in regards to Will. Because again, people haven't seen, you know, they only know the fun Will. You know, the fun Will, he's going to be all fun. And now that you've seen that West Philly come out, people are scared. They want to act all scary now. And oh my God, I don't ever want to watch another Will movie again. And I'm not going to support. And the Oscars need to ban him and take away his awards.
Right.
And I'm kind of like, folks are doing a whole lot. Because if we want to really go there about accountability and the Oscars, there are a lot of people who have some very questionable records that are still being celebrated, and some of those records include things in regards to sexual assault and misconduct and all kind of things that I don't want to say because I don't have time for YouTube to come over here and demonetize me for saying too much. But there are a bunch of people who have way bigger fish to fry in regards to what's going on in their background. So if you guys want to all of a sudden give Will all the smoke, fine by me, but you better make sure everybody else gets that same smoke, the people that have real issues, because I don't know why Woody Allen is still being celebrated. And there's that.
Exactly.
And so, there's a bunch of different things to be said, but I just think Will had hit his breaking point in that moment.
Yeah.
And he was just over it. And I think he was mad at himself when he did it because, shortly after, you see the clips of him and Tyler Perry and Denzel Washington, and they're trying to, bring him back down. He's actually crying. I think he was frustrated that he let himself get to that point. And I think, like I said, when people have a breaking point, sometimes it hits and you don't even realize that you realize what you're doing, but you're just in a space where, nope. Because I remember I talked about it in one of them videos. I had one of the moments with somebody in IHOP before. Now, I wasn't out there slapping nobody, but I certainly wanted to. But when it all ended, I was like, dang, did I really just do that? Dang, I didn't know I had that in me. Okay, all right. But, I think he was really frustrated about that. Now, people are going to say, because I've seen a lot of arguments where it's still, again, a lot of people are just saying it wasn't appropriate. This was supposed to be a night where people were supposed to celebrate accolades. Cool, I hear that. I understand that. But if your argument and the reason of you being frustrated is because I keep hearing people say, oh, I just can't believe he would do this in front of all those white people. The white people were watching. That's where you lose me because, again, I don't like the idea of always making the standard of measurement in regards to morale be white people. I'm sorry. They just went and stormed the Capitol on January 6th and nothing happened. And we've seen the vile aspects that a lot of people in white America do when they don't get their way in response to a lot of things. So I don't want to hear that argument because, again, I don't measure whiteness as my standard of how I would conduct myself in public. Absolutely not. And so that's where I'm at on that. So if you want to be frustrated because you just feel that it wasn't that place and time for that moment, cool. But if it's centered in the fact that you're worried about how white America is going to see Will Smith or see black Americans, then you have some internal searching to do because that should not be your standard of how to measure yourself, especially when they don't even hold themselves to their own standards.
Thank you.
No disrespect, but that's just how I feel. And so, like I said, we'll see how this goes. I will say this. I do think this kind of might have saved Will and Jada's marriage because I didn't think they were going to make it. But after Will has literally put his career on the line to defend his wife, oh, that's a new kind of love right there. And by the way, gentlemen, I just want you to know a lot of your wives have raised the bar now in regards to what they expect you to do because you better not go to a company Christmas party and let somebody disrespect your wife and you do nothing about it because she's going to let you know about that in the car ride home. Can't believe you sat there and let them all talk about me. And I bet if I was Will Smith's wife, oh, he would have burned the whole place down, but you sitting in there laughing with him because you want to get a promotion.
Tell it, honey. Tell it. Yes.
Oh, it's about to go down.
Yep.
Listen, folks should just be happy that a lot of these other celebrities have not really let out how they really feel in these moments. Because just imagine, for a lot of these celebrities that deal with so much, and I know a lot of folks keep saying, well, you know what? Celebrities are supposed to be able to take it. That's what it is. But again, at the end of the day, celebrities are also still human.
Yeah.
And when you have tons and tons of people always coming at you sideways and coming after everything you support and believe in, it can be something that is draining. Imagine if the Jacksons one day just got tired. Back in the day, I don't know, there's an award show and somebody said something about the Jacksons. Imagine if all 9 of them got up and went to the stage to go fight. Jada.
Yup. And Michael, he'll moonwalk and whoop your ass. I could picture that.
With them nation nunchucks and everything like that. Latoya take off that headband and they go and the Gary, Indiana comes right on out. Listen, understand that people are human. I do think Will Smith and Chris Rock will work out whatever they have. I also think they both have some really good PR teams, so they'll be able to brush this right on over. But
it ain't even about Will Smith, though. Chris Rock is the one with the problem. Okay, Pookie from New Jack City is the one with the problem.
It comes with the territory. That's life. People are going to respond the way they respond when things happen. You can't always predict how people are going to react. So
that's right.
Understand that you don't never know what's happening in somebody's head and where they're at. So tread carefully. It just comes with the territory. Anyway.
All right, you guys. That's all I got to say about that, honey. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you thought about the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, brand new, and I will check you guys out in the next video.